All right guys, so this is gonna be a little beginner video. In this one, I decided to do asking a question on Reddit BJJ, which is kind of a risky thing to do, but I did it anyways. And I asked, what is the first submission you learned as a BJJ white belt? I got some crazy stuff, about 430 responses, so I went and categorized them all and put them in a list of the top 5, and we're gonna get into it. Most of these are from closed guard, because I think as a beginner, closed guard is probably where you start, where you learn a bunch of your movements and kind of get more comfortable in that position. One submission is going to be from mount, so these are the first 5 submissions. Most of you probably learned as a white belt. For a lot of these people, they were the first one they learned, so let's get into it. So number 5 was cross collar choke. So with the cross collar choke, what we're doing is we're gonna start in closed guard. We wanna get a deep collar grip, okay? So I open up the collar, I use my hand, open up the collar, get as deep as I can, almost like to reach his tags. From here, I hold position, I'm gonna look into his ear, clear my other hand through, get as high as I can. What this is doing is cutting off the carotid, it's getting both sides of the neck. Boom. Here, and when I finish, I pinch. So what I'm doing is I'm closing the space, elbows tight, and I'm pulling my elbows back towards the mat. Open up the collar, get as deep a grip as I can, almost like to the tags. Get in here, boom. What I do from here is I want to swivel to his opposite ear so I can create a pathway for my other hand. I get in to the collar as deep as I can, closing down the space, like this with my wrists, and then elbows are tight and I'm pulling down, and you get the choke. So number 4 submission, that most popular submission that people learned was a Kimura. Now Kimura is a very useful grip. The Kimura grip can be used in takedown defense, all kinds of ways. But we're gonna start in the most basic way, and that's gonna be probably from the closed guard. So let's get into that. When we're going for the Kimura, we wanna set it up in a way that exposes the hands or separates the hands. Right now, Gideon's in a good position, his hands are on me. A couple options, one could be to hip up and try to break the grip. The other option is to hip bump. I like the hip bump because he's gotta do something to react to it. If he doesn't, he gets swept. So from here, open the legs, come up onto the forearm, I cup the tricep, I hip in, and if Gideon doesn't plant his hand, he's gonna go over and get swept. So from here, my right hand's gonna go over top of his, and I'm gonna grab at the wrist or forearm. Close my hand, so I'm gonna re-grip, get my Kimura grip. From here, I hip escape a little bit, put my foot almost to his shoulder blade if I can, kind of sandwich them together so he can't posture back up into me, and then hold the hand to my chest, and I'm using my body to finish the Kimura. So I'm gonna hip up, he plants, I cup, grip, keep the arm away from his body so he can't grab his pants or grab my pants, so now he can't bring his arm in. Hip escape a little bit, sandwich, bring his tricep or his upper arm to my chest, and I'm using just a rotation. I'm trying to bring his hand kind of towards his back, towards the back of his head, really. So number 3 on the list is the triangle. Some of the basic ways, again, triangles are very versatile. You can hit them from a lot of different positions. Again, you want to try to do something for a setup. You just go straight for a triangle, it's not going to be feasible, it's never going to work. So you have to do some kind of setup. So again, from here, collar, sleeve, we're doing kind of like a scissor sweep, like we're going for it, and create some tension. Kick the leg through, bring it up and around, on top of the elbow, close the space. From here, keep everything tight. You can control the head. You can bring your hand to your shin, and then we close everything down. Triangle choke there. So next submission is the Americana. gonna do it from a mount position. So we're here, Gideon's doing a good job keeping his elbows tight. So we gotta open up, we gotta separate the arms. What I like to do is like a baseball grip. We grab the underhand grip at the wrist, the forearm, and we're gonna kind of pull up and press away. That's gonna focus a little bit more on the shoulder, and it's gonna isolate some of those weaker muscles, so he's not gonna be able to use some of the stronger muscles to pull in. So we're here, baseball grip, boom, here. Now what I like to do from here is switch my grip. I create this frame between my forearm and my elbow and his head so he can't come back to grab his arm. What I'll do now, hand goes underneath, my head will come down, I'll kind of switch my hips, head will come down to create a good base, and then I'm gonna basically do that paintbrush movement down. We're trying to bring his arm into that position, okay? Baseball bat grip, pull up and out, isolate the arm, I'll bring my elbow between his head and the arm, and I grab. From here, this hand underneath, I like to switch my hips to be heavy. I use my head to create a little bit more of a base, and then I'm going this way, paintbrush movement, okay? So we're essentially finishing the Americana this way. All right guys, and the number one submission, the, I guess, first submission most people learn in Jiu-Jitsu is the armbar. So armbar, probably the most simple one from closed guard position. That's what you'll probably hit, you know, when you start doing it. Again, you can hit arm bars from various different positions, you know, from mount, all kinds of different positions. But if you're a beginner, closed guard's probably one of the safest and the earliest positions you'll learn, get comfortable in. So we're gonna hit the arm bar from the closed guard. The way I like to kind of focus on hitting the arm bar is a 2-on-1 grip. So we may break the grip, pull it across, cup that tricep. So we're here. I want his hand across my center line. Here, and I go over top. What I want to do from here now is my foot on the hip, control his posture, and I'm gonna cut the angle. I'm gonna be looking into his ear, push the head, frame, pinch the knees together, and then finish the arm bar. He is in a good position, hands are on me. I want to break the grip, so I'll break the grip and I won't let it go. So I'll go sleeve grip, hip up, to break the grip, boom, pull that arm across. Now if I pulled it across, I'm gonna come here and grab the tricep. Now I'm gonna control his posture, control his head. A lot of times you can even grab the material here to keep him down. Foot on the hip, so I can cut my angle. Good bite across his shoulder blades, push the head to frame, knees together, hip up, finish submission. All right guys, so those are the first 5 submissions most people learn as beginners in Jiu-Jitsu. It's good to have you back, brother. Talk to you guys next time.